Her mother lives here, her brother lives here, got a chance with some family before the game today. But it is a business trip, and it is all about winning in her 37th season and winning another Pac-12 championship. They've done that so many years, year in and year out. And all they have to do today, Mary, is win, and they'll at least have a share of that title.
That's exactly right, and that is where they expect themselves to be at the beginning of every single season. For Colorado, a great start is so important.
And Jones on Jones right away, a miss and a rebound for the Buffs. Look for them to run it. Look for them to be quick, make a lot of movement on the offensive end. They want to wear out this Stanford team early. They had that national Monday night game against UCLA that was a battle. And then, you know, you got to travel to altitude, all the things. To your point, Mary, early, like the schedule has favored the Buffs in being able to try and get Stanford, I guess, while they're down, so to speak, right now. Of course, they're deep. We know that.
And they struggled to score in the first quarter down at Stanford, just 8 points in that first quarter. So for Colorado, it's certainly on the defensive end, but offensively, they got to get it going.
Aggressive defense right there by Aaronette Vonleh and Quay Miller on the double team against Brink. There's a look at J.R. Payne, her 7th season as the Buffaloes head coach, and both her and Tara Vanderveer, one of 3 coaches in the Pac-12, along with Lynn Roberts of Utah. They're up for the Naismith Coach of the Year award, such a prestigious honor. Cameron Brink missing a long shot and an offensive board for the Cardinal.
Apollo did not play in the first meeting. She had injured the ankle against Utah.
Ball tipped, and Brink is already heading the other way. Thought it was going to be a turnover. Sticks with Stanford. Lapolo from 3. And Brink with a hustle, but they're going to call her out of bounds. So it will go the way of the Buffs. All right, Mary, take us through today's Director's Mortgage game plan.
For Stanford, take good care of the ball. This is a Colorado team that can rattle you. They are very physical. They will pressure out and rebound, something Stanford does a very good job of. Colorado, Miller and Vonleh cannot afford foul trouble, and no single-digit quarters, just consistent scoring throughout this ball game. No scoring droughts.
Aaronette Vonleh fouled out of their last game against Arizona, and that's been trouble for her really all season long. So it's about, you know, playing aggressive but knowing your limitations. And right away, Sadler getting her first opportunity. Vonleh, there's a great rebound, and sticks with the Buffs. They'll pass around the perimeter. Quay Miller heading to her left.
To your point, Sadler could have taken that open shot, instead trying to work at the clock a little bit.
Sadler with the drive and dish to the corner. Jones no good. And a tip towards Stanford.
Lauren Betts on the floor early.
Nice job by Sherrod. What a hustle. She keeps it in bounds, and Sadler will have it the other way.
Nice defense by Hannah Jump to force the U-turn by Sadler.
Sherrod missing short and an offensive board. So far, no score, and we're 2.5 minutes into the contest.
I would say that Colorado's fine with that.
Way inside. And she gets the first bucket of the game.
You know, that's a big bucket. Against Arizona, those kind of shots were not going down for Quay Miller.
Lapolo found herself in a different role against UCLA. They were able to put Haley Jones more at the point and give her that shooting ability, and you're kind of seeing a little bit of a look at that early here. Lauren Betts with the move. And a miss for the Colorado native. Glad to be home. The freshman who's had such an outstanding season so far with Stanford.
Blocked by Jones. Nice strong inside presence so far for Colorado. Fran Belibi will be checking in. Wett will be checking in. Beautiful.
Wow. Great baseline move. And
beautiful pass.
Beautiful pass as well. 4-0 Buffs up, and you're right, substitutes coming in. They're going to rotate them. And grab something, and the ball just ends up with Quay Miller and now Sherrod. Excuse me, Vonleh and Sherrod. Jones wide open underneath, and she gets the roll. She's at 4. She only had 3 in their last game against Arizona.
And the change of pace by Sherrod, if she does that more often, that result's going to happen. Just a beautiful job on the crossover, finding her teammate.
You see the energy of the Buffs right away. They know the opportunity that they have to take advantage of right now. Inside out's the name of the game for Stanford. Betts will kick it to Lapolo back inside.
Great job defensively. They've just walled off that inside area, and Ariafen and Betts cannot find an opening. Sherrod, a little change of pace, misdirection, beautiful lead. Great job by Jones, just working to stay open.
Graham Beliebe, the senior, in for Tara Vanderveer from Centennial, Colorado, Regis Jesuit High School product. And a senior, you know, they just celebrated senior night. There's so many emotions that go into those final weeks as a college basketball player when it's all said and done.
Whitaker on the floor.
Van Miller gets it up with a shot clock winding down, bounces around and ends up with Beliebe as a rebound.
Navarre on the floor for Stanford.
And an off-ball whistle.
Yeah, they're going to get a hand check. I mean, you would expect some of those with Colorado because they're just so aggressive in their man-to-man defense. As Eminopu enters the game, and a jump will sit Stanford early. We're all counting, aren't we?
Nine players, right? Like, how many bench players? 9 in total, and another quick foul. So that's the second on Whitaker right away in foul trouble now. That leads us to a break, and a Buffs lead 6-0. Stanford yet to score in Boulder.
Conley needs that break, and you can see they called that one on Whitaker.
Yeah, the refs gathering right now after checking the monitor. Melissa Barlow, Kyle Bacon, Teresa Turner, the refereeing crew here in Boulder today.
I have to say, I'm not surprised by the start from Colorado. This is what has to happen. They must dominate early. Stanford has not scored. They're 0 for 7 from the floor. They've got a turnover. This is a team that played Monday night on ESPN when they beat UCLA, had an off day Tuesday, had a practice yesterday for 2 hours at Maples, and then flew in. We all in the Colorado area know what that weather was like yesterday. Arrived at the hotel about 8.
Yeah, it's been brutal. They're going to call that a common foul, so no extracurriculars there. Talk about 6 out of the last 8 games for Stanford coming on the road. I mean, that is a challenge in and of itself, but you're right, to end in altitude here in the mountain time zone and to have 2 schools that not only are ranked but are fighting for better seeding. They all have byes in the Pac-12 tournament. But man, for Colorado, a big difference between seeds 4 and 2, and there's another foul. They're going to call that.
They got it on the bar.
Yeah, yep. So India Navarre picking up her first for Stanford. Buffs will look to capitalize off a turnover here.
Eminopu on Sherrod.
Kendall Wetta driving dish underneath, and nice stuff by Cam Brink. That's what she does best.
Just a beautiful job. Runs the floor. Another block by Jones. She's been active defensively.
She can feel her time winding down. She'll be honored on Saturday here. The lone senior. There's plenty of seniors for J.R. Payne, but a couple of them look like they're going to come back or haven't decided yet. That ball floating out of bounds and in the hands of Sherrod. She sees Miller, wide open lane, and the late foul call.
And that's a great decision by Miller. The challenge. She's got Cameron Brink just bearing down on her. You know what's coming. And she says, all right, party on. Pass ahead by Sherrod, and Miller says, bring it. And you get into the body of Cam Brink, and you create the contact. In that situation, you just have to be smart. If you're going to go and make sure you get into the body. Just don't show the ball, because that thing's coming right back at you or getting flung into the stands.
Quay Miller makes her first of 2. She hit 1,000 career points against USC earlier this year, and she's really been the one that's kind of in the heart and soul of this team.
Yeah, she's got a personality that just is like a magnet for others, but at the same time, when she gets serious, everybody gets serious.
4 points for Quay Miller and an 8-0 Buffs lead.
Brink will sit. Ashton Prechtel will come in from Colorado Springs, Colorado.
3 Coloradoans on the Stanford roster. All would love nothing more than a win in front of their family and friends here in Boulder today, but huge deficit early.
Prechtel could knock down threes, almost pick and pops.
Inside. And a miss by Eminopu. There's Prechtel with the rebound. Can't get the putback to her Colorado buddy on the other side. And another Stanford offensive rebound. They are taking the shots, Mary, and just can't get them to fall. Here's Sherrod on the other end. And a finish. It's 10-0 Buffs.
It's a tough time to make this game with a 3 o'clock start here in Boulder, but this crowd is involved early. Pressure by Colorado.
The home crowd looking for a nice double dip today. The men will play USC later tonight in a meaningful men's Pac-12 game. 0 for 13. That's what the Cardinal are from the field. And that ball's out of bounds on Weta, but they're going to call it off of Haley Jones.
The thing is for Colorado, while it's going well, you need to push and you need to just keep piling it on and come down and score every single time, because at some point Stanford is going to wake up and the basket's going to start falling for them.
Lapolo back in, Brink back in, and Dimitri checking in as well.
Dimitri's minutes have been up. Again, she's a great pick and popper. She can put it on the floor, an outstanding defender.
I like to call her accolades, say she was a McDonald's All-American, but weren't they all at Stanford? Just about every one of them. Vonleh back to Weta. She'll go to her left, passing it off to Miller in the corner. She likes that spot. Missing, and Jada Wynn in the game, trying to fight for a board, can't get it. Haley Jones will march it down for Stanford.
This is where Haley Jones is such a difference maker. Her ability to just create, come down, create contact, and sort of just control the pace of this thing and just bring a little momentum back their way.
Jada Wynn gets the foul. Sherrod will get a break. She's been pushing it hard.
Oh, tough pass.
Yeah, Brink couldn't handle it. And the Buffs will come up with another turnover. Weta behind her back, stop and pop at the line. She gets her on board, why not? There's Wynn for 3, got it.
What does Wynn do best?
Count them up. 1, 2, 3. Absolutely. 37% shooter from the field, 35% from 3, and more substitutions coming. 13-0, Mary. I don't think this is what we were expecting.
Nope, but a great O board off the miss from Weta, gets it on her own and kicks it out, and Wynn. I understand Jody Wynn's in the building somewhere. Her mom, former coach at Washington, she's got to be up and yelling some things as well.
Yeah, Dad Derek, an assistant at UC Irvine. Basketball family. Polo backing it out. Dimitri inside to Brink. The Polo faked it, drive. They just cannot get anything going at all.
Sometimes when you're playing offense, it feels like there's 6 people out there defensively. Right now, the way Colorado is playing defense and flying around, that's exactly how it feels. No open shots, just congestion, challenges. Colorado fired up.
It's another personal foul. And Wynn has 2. Whitaker with 2, Wynn with 2. To your point earlier, the bench, it's not good news for the depth of it for CU.
Another turnover, number 5 for Stanford. A couple years ago, they had 13 turnovers in the first quarter.
Wow. CU's being disruptive, that's for sure, on the defensive end, turning it into points on the offensive end, missing there.
There is a minute 16 left in this quarter, and Stanford has not scored. That doesn't even seem real.
It doesn't. So Sherrod will check back in. Weta will take a seat. And Haley Jones, if anyone's going to change that score from a donut to at least a number, she's a 75% free throw shooter, and she does it. So a minute 14 left on the clock, and that's the very first point for Stanford here in the first quarter, and it came off a free throw.
That would have been a national story. Don't score for almost 9 minutes, but this Colorado squad with only an 11-point lead.
Aaronette Von Lay. Looking for Sherrod, she got her, he'll set the pick. Charging in at Brink, and she turns it over with not a crisp pass.
Von Lay's got to be, just take it easy there.
Dimitri had a wide open catch and shoot, left it short. Here comes Sadler.
Good decision. This is what you were talking about at the top, like get into this a little faster, right?
Yeah, Sherrod will take the shot and Brink with the board. Can Stanford make a field goal before the end of the quarter?
Answer is
yes, Dimitri got it. If that was on your bingo card, you win. And a late foul call, so 3 seconds to go, and it'll stop the clock. Know what you want there on the other end.
Brooke Dimitri is so skilled. Wide open, you can see the bench pointing. Cover her, cover her. Everyone's so aware of where Hannah Jump is. You must be aware of where Brooke Dimitri is as well.
Gary Offen checks in for Cameron Brink, who's now in foul trouble. She has 2.
So the chess match has commenced as far as foul trouble.
Sadler will take the last shot for the Buffs as the quarter expires, and what a big lead that the Buffs have built. They're up 13-5. Stanford finally getting a bucket before the quarter was over. Except for this game. It happened January 17th, 2021, right here at the CU Event Center, and it went into overtime. The Buffs coming up big, 77-72. This was COVID season, so you notice no one in the crowd. But man, these two teams have played each other close. 6 of the last 10 meetings have been decided by single digits. 2 of those in overtime, and it looks like we're going to have ourselves a ball game here again today.
That's why we talk about the rivalry between, it almost feels like Oregon State, or UW, Washington State, or the LA schools, whatever, Cal, Stanford. It's just intense. In 20, it was Kiana Williams hitting that half-court shot, and last year, Stanford survived 13 first quarter turnovers.
And there's a turnover right there. Sadler couldn't get in the hands of Miller, so Stanford will have the first opportunity here in the second quarter to score. Dimitri has the lone field goal for the Cardinal right now. Jones made a couple free throws, and that's how they got to 5. Can't get that to roll. And Emma Nopu, that'll go off the backboard and out of bounds. So let's take a look at this first quarter. Mary, when you dive into it, it's very clear. CU was shooting the ball, not at that great at 31%, but they just couldn't buy a bucket for Stanford. They finally picked up the rebounding, though.
Right, I mean, everything goes towards Colorado, but yet Stanford, probably their worst quarter in like forever, and they're only down 8. That is not good news for Colorado.
We had that USC-Stanford game last week, and it felt like the whole time, oh, Stanford's up big. Well, they weren't, right? They had some scoring droughts that really came to bite them in terms of letting the Trojans get back in that game. It ended up being a 3-point win for them. Sadler has 2 on the shot clock, and they're going to call out of bounds. So either way, a turnover.
Tamia putting the ball on the floor and just there's nowhere to go. And when she picks it up, you're buried down there and it's just a turnover waiting to happen. Making great decisions against Stanford and getting shots every time down the floor is so important.
Polo will bring the ball up. Stanford trying to get something going. Haley Jones would be a person to do that. She'll stop and pop an illegal screen. So Iriafen picking up her first.
Lauren Betts will check in, and you can feel Stanford, a couple of moving screens, anxious. Try to just free up your shooters. Free up your teammates coming off a handoff. Just try to get something going.
A couple Colorado kids on the floor. I talked to Kendall Wetta earlier today. She went to Valor, and of course they played Grandview Lots, which is the school Lauren Betts went to. She said she was hurt a bunch, but just watching her, I mean, 6'7", she brings a presence to the court, but she was really impressed with how in college she's developed more of a mid-range game. It's neat when you can follow people you used to compete against in high school and now you're competing against each other at the collegiate level. Nice movement. Wow, Jones is feeling it today.
That is a spectacular take and the challenge.
10-point lead again for the Buffs. 15-5. Dimitri for three. Missing, and a weak side rebound for Sherrod. Can she do it again? Jones for three. Nope. And it's going to go to Stanford.
Tayanna Jones puts it on the floor. Decisive, attack 6'7", just fiercely goes right by it. Kisses it off the backboard. That's a big-time move. Love that angle.
Hannah Jones waiting to check in for Stanford. Got to keep those bodies fresh. They've been playing just about everyone on the bench. Ball bouncing around like pinball, and of course the 6'7" Betts comes up with it.
Just need better spacing if you're trying to get Lauren Betts the ball down low. Dribbling right to her, not working. Shot clock again.
Well, contesting Dimitri.
Get Tayanna Jones over the back. You can see her reaction.
Body language says it.
Yeah.
Full
respectfully.
frustration. Yeah, respectfully.
But those are the kind of fouls for Colorado. They're aggressive enough. Don't go over the back. Don't create extra contact and just pile up the fouls that way.
Jump and bounce the ball after she came off the bench. Dimitri missing, and he's got Quay Miller from behind.
Oh, that looked like a carry a little bit.
Baseline for Wetta. She leaves it short, but a whistle.
Did Hannah jump with the grab? Boy, Colorado just fearless on these drives. Wetta, little misdirection. She's kind of in trouble, but good job just finding some space. Such a smart player.
UCU's been ranked now for the last 5 weeks, but they have not lost their underdog mentality. And that's very clear throughout the course of the season. They are so good here at the CU Event Center, 11-1 at home. They've had some really big wins against ranked opponents in the Pac-12.
The difference for Colorado, though, they can still have their chip on the shoulder, but people are gunning for them now. They are not surprising anybody.
And either way, here comes Wetta. She'll pull it out. More around to Jones. You're not Von Lay. She's been pretty quiet so far in this game. Wetta, long range. Haley Jones will slow it up, and that's not the whistle you want.
So the over the back by Jones, that foul by Wetta there, it's not getting you anything. It's just piling up some fouls, and that's the last thing Colorado needs.
Von Lay to the bench, insert Charlotte Whitaker, and speaking of fouls, she has 2.
Toscana comes into the game for Stanford, so now 11 players have taken the floor.
travel call. You almost looked at, you almost looked like, please don't be another foul, right?
Or the read and the react defensively, the help sliding in, but having your body at a great angle and just being able to react to that drive, spectacular.
With 9 turnovers for Stanford now. CU's had 7 points so far off those turnovers.
Stanford with 10 offensive boards. They're +7 in that category.
Sherrod thought about it, and now she drives out to the corner. Jones keeps it going around.
Plays like, give me a touch.
5 on the shot clock. Jones likes her touches so far and capitalizes again, this time from 3. She has 9 on the day.
Yeah, she is playing great. 4 of 6, efficient.
14-point deficit for the Cardinal. Baseline drive, it's out of bounds on Whitaker. They actually call a foul on Whitaker, so that's going to be number 3.
And that's a tough call on Whitaker. It looks like she was in the stance just trying to drive her out of bounds, and instead she gets tagged with that 3rd foul. Drive, drive, drive. Here comes Sherrod, the kick out. Lots of time to line it up and knock it down by Tayanna Jones.
I love that for Tayanna Jones too. I talked to her a little bit after shoot around today, and you could tell she was wearing those emotions. Like, this is it for her college basketball career. She's like, I've tried to let it all soak in, but she hasn't always been the points contributor, and there finally some more points here in the second quarter coming from Hannah Jump, who didn't have any points in her last game. First points of the second quarter here for the Cardinals. They only have 2 field goals made. And Vonleh can't get the roll.
Did everything right except have that shot go in. The challenge, the early position.
Stanford just 2 for 22 from the field.
I think right now the Stanford ops person is calling a local coffee shop and said, we need a couple tanks of coffee. We need to wake up at halftime.
Or get that beet juice going, right? For the altitude. Nice move from Haley Jones, and she's just going to stay after it. That's what she does. That's her game, and now she has 4.
Beautiful job on the ISO with her back to the basket.
11-point advantage under the 5-minute mark here in the second quarter for the Buffs. You can tell by Vonleh's body language, a little frustrated. She's not getting fed inside. She's trying to get positioning. And there's her opportunity on the shot, missing.
Sherrod is just getting after it.
Tenacious indeed. There's a hustle for a rebound and a whistle. They're going to call it on Haley Jones. That'll be her first. Back and forth here at the CU Event Center, 19-10. Buffs hold the lead. CU Buff, 113th collegiate game.
I'm surprised Colorado's not trying to get Vonleh some touches, because Brink's got those 2 personal fouls. She got him in the first quarter, and you need to take advantage, because when Brink's back, it's going to just get shut down a lot more inside.
She had the ball there. They called it a jump ball. As Iriafen got her hands on it, and it'll go with the Cardinal.
It was a 14-point lead at 19-5, and since then it's a 5-0 run by Stanford. And a bucket here, and it feels like a whole new ball game.
It really does. I mean, as hot as CU was in the first quarter, it's gone a little colder here.
Travel.
That was good defense by Vonleh.
Really was, because she didn't move. Iriafen's trying to get her to give me some more space. Let me get a better angle, and she doesn't, and she travels.
And she didn't draw a foul. You know, the foul trouble has been huge for her, so she's learning how to be aggressive within her zone. It's part of her development. Shot for 3. And what a fight.
Tremendous effort by Iriafen.
And there is that foul, the first foul for Arenat Vonleh that she'll pick up.
Shots a miss. Iriafen's got the inside position. Goes to the floor, and Vonleh, again, you've got to let that go. That is not worth a foul.
CU scoring drought, now over 2 minutes and 30 seconds here as we're winding towards the 3-minute mark left in the half. Iriafen goes right at Vonleh. time over her, and that's long. Sherrod to Miller, she thought about her three.
Good job by Dimitri, not allowing Quay to pull the trigger on the three. Win on the floor.
Shot clock at 6. The up and in, no good for Sadler. And nice hustle there. Nice hustle back by Iriafen. She's been all over the floor and her hands all over the ball.
Look at lesson number 1. When you play Colorado, you go after the ball with 2 hands, because if it's not 100% with 2 hands, the Buffs are going to come away with it. Ball's on the floor, 1 hand by Iriafen, and here comes Sherrod, says, give me it.
And Buffs average close to 10 steals per game. They're always looking for the rock. Again, if you're just joining us, Frida Foreman out with an illness today, so she was not in the starting lineup. And Conley finally getting points here in the second quarter on the turn and shoot.
Cameron Brink is on the floor. That shot probably doesn't happen, so great job taking advantage.
You know the personnel you're going up against. 21-10 CU. Haley Jones with the drive. Beautiful. That's what she does. Just attack. She was looking for the foul, though.
Creative while being aggressive. Finally looking for it inside.
Thank you.
And that's going to be a foul on Fran Belibi.
Haley Jones' ability to see her size it up. Comes off that great screen by Fran Belibi. Just kind of feels a little bit of contact on that rub and elevates and puts it in. It's one of the things that makes her great.
Christian Prechtel checking in, so getting a little more size. For Stanford, again, with Cameron Brink in foul trouble, she has 2 sitting on the bench.
Yep, giving her the shot.
She'll take it. Catch and shoot, no roll.
We're going to get Fran Belibi. Not just Quay Miller being active. As soon as the shot's released, she's, but where can I go? Where can I go? Hunting an offensive rebound.
It's 2 now for Belibi.
Shot goes up, and you can see the inside position. Quay's like almost boxing out.
Quay 3 for 3 on the day with free throws.
Quay Miller, the transfer from Washington, got herself in better shape. Just really got focused on what she needed to do in the classroom and on the floor, and the results are just right out there. She is so improved.
This is the second. Hard to believe she's the only Buff who has started every single game this year for J.R. Payne. Haven't had too many switches around the starting lineup, but
offensive foul on Sadler on the screen. A lot of moving screens so far in this first half. Such a waste of a foul and an offensive possession. Just get yourself set and let the ball handler do the work.
And a board for Stanford. Offensive boards, they've been good at them today. Can they turn them into points? They do, behind Hannah Jump.
Great job by Fran Belibi and great movement by Hannah Jump. Jump 2 for 2 from 3. Vonleh.
Good job, Vonleh.
How about the pass from Quay Miller?
Beautiful connection. Single-digit lead.
Who knew a low-scoring game could be exciting?
Very exciting. Crowd's into it. Down to halftime. 43 seconds to go. 3-point attempt and good for Stanford. So they're getting right back in this. Bozgana with the make.
And the Stanford bench up and fired up.
All of a sudden, it's a 6-point game. Much different than that 13-0 run Colorado had to start. Buffs slowing it down. Not much time separates game clock, shot clock, but they'll use it.
It's Quay Miller.
The turn to shoot, she got stuffed. Levy says, not today.
She sends that back to Centennial.
Yeah. A little gift for friends from Regis Jesuit High School. Gonna get the ball knocked out. She's gonna have to shoot it. Now it's gonna be a shot clock violation. Just 0.2 of a second. Ball in bounds and clock will expire. So Stanford with a much better second quarter showing. They outscored the Buffs 13-11 in those 10 minutes, but it was Colorado. They came out fast, they came out hard, they came out making shots, and they have a 6-point lead here heading into half. It's time for our Zayo Connection and J.R. Payne joining us. Coach, you guys got off to a very fast start. How proud are you the way that they were able to handle that and then just get by there in the second quarter?
Yeah, I mean, we want to play fast all the time, so basically, I guess I'm proud of us doing what we're supposed to do. We want to play like that. It's hard to sustain that type of pace. It was pretty fast early, especially down a player. But yeah, we're doing a good job. We just have to keep them off the glass, and I think that will help, definitely.
Coach, offensive adjustments just to give yourself some more open looks. What do you do?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think we're getting pretty good looks, but when we stall and when we slow down a little bit towards the end of the clock, that usually doesn't work very well for us.
All right, Coach, best of luck in the second half. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
The Buffs with a 24-18 lead over the number 3 Cardinal in town, trying to win a against the Arizona schools. They scored just 42 points at Arizona last Sunday. That was the lowest point total they had in their first loss in the month of February. So they were ready for a vengeance today. And for Stanford now, it's about coming out strong in the third quarter, down 6.
Fran Beliebe starts the second half instead of Kiki Uriafin.
Jump out to Jones, now Brink. Pass and catch with 2 on the shot clock, no whistle. She gets it up in time, but no good.
That happened a lot in the first half. Stanford with the shot clock running down, trying to create some offense. Sadler was an 0-for in the first half. She needs to come out confidently and look to score. Got to pick up those points that Frida will not be able to provide with the illness back at the apartment, watching the game. Just the worst possible experience.
Brink got stripped away there. A nice save by Sherrod.
Just wait till she brings it down and then go get it.
Brink on Boy Miller. She stuffs her on the reverse.
So what's Coy thinking there? She wanted the ball. She directed traffic. She's saying, I'm going to get Cam Brink her 3rd personal foul. The pass ahead. Brink brings it down. Sherrod says, thank you very much.
Sherrod will gather it in with 8 on the shot clock.
Boy, they had the mismatch. They had the switch out, and they just didn't recognize it. Sherrod needed to pull that thing back out and take advantage.
Polo will bring it up for the Cardinal.
All 6 of her points in that first half, in that second quarter, excuse me.
I was gonna say she gave him a huge energy boost, grabbed her own rebound there and misses that as well. Sherrod will pull it back out. We're not seeing as quick of a pace from Colorado as we saw out of the jump. There's Vonleh missing there.
Can you see the Brink effect? It's back.
It's a huge effect.
It sure is.
She has the most blocks in Stanford history and the 4th most in Pac-12 history. She's long, she's lean, and she's mean underneath. Jones underneath. Speaking of mismatch, Sherrod had a hand on it. And look at that. Fran Beliebe coming up with a rebound and putback.
Beautiful job just camping out on that weak side. Anticipate the miss, put it away. We're going to get Brink for the third. And this is where spacing, patience, let the ISO get created. Believy, you can see all the work she does early. She's in perfect position, puts it right back up for two.
So not wasting any time. Bring back to the bench. Dimitri in, as well as Lauren Betts.
Played it beautifully. Brink just playing some pressure, too much pressure, and they call the foul. But you need the spacing, you need the ISO to make that happen. Well done, Colorado.
ACU has the upper hand with Brink on the bench, but all of a sudden you insert the bench and it's more size, right? Lauren Betts, all 6'7" of her, coming in. One of the deepest and tallest benches around. There's a big miss from Quay Miller. Vonleh picks it up, just one on the shot clock though. Sadler puts it up. They're gonna say shot clock violation, doesn't get it up in time. Some of that awareness, right, for Vonleh. You're talking about being a sophomore here at CU. She was a freshman at Arizona last year, but not a lot of minutes, not a lot of playing time. So there's still been that learning curve of being on the floor as a starter, the amount of minutes, the basketball IQ and awareness. She has the size, she has the skill, right? And she's putting it all together.
The key thing for a post player is your teammates have to help you with spacing and good passing inside.
Jones with the spin move and one.
And sometimes it feels like an impossible shot because that spin is right into the help, and Quay Miller was right there. And the bench for Stanford fired up. Let's watch an All-American go to work. Here's the spin, here's the help. Just get it up and let the rim and the backboard give you an assist.
So the foul goes on Sherrod, that's her second. And now some conversation with the refs happening.
And a jump, trying to help with the communication.
So they called the jumper good by Jones.
The foul is after the shot.
They have changed that since.
So really worst case scenario for J.R. Payne because now another possession for Stanford.
Dimitri with the inbounds. We'll get it back in the hands of Jones. There's an open look for Dimitri from three.
Fran Believy on that weak side.
Beast on the boards. Kicks it back out to Haley Jones. And a jump. And
jump
just
time.
Like that, that's the first lead for Stanford, coming all the way back in this 25-24.
And look at the emotion from the Cardinal. All the way back, down big, and Hannah Jump says, it's jump time. Stanford with the lead.
In a brand new ball game here at the CU Event Center in the third quarter, Stanford took their very first lead, and it happened really off a 5-point possession play. It all started with Haley Jones in a bucket.
So she gets fouled there after the shot. So you got 2 points, Stanford. We said worst case scenario, because now possession Stanford, and what happens? A 3-ball. So a 5-point play. If they had called the foul on Haley, it would have been a free throw and maybe a 3-point play, but really just worked out as poorly as it could have for Colorado.
Tayanna Jones, perfect 3 for 3 from 3-point range. She has 9 on the day. That leads the Cardinal. And all of a sudden they have the lead in this game. If you're J.R. Payne, what's the message coming out of that timeout, Mary?
You just got to get back to what got you here. Take advantage. There is no Cameron Brink. All that shot block, all that rebound, all that scoring.
It's been a 10-0 run for Stanford going back to the end of the second quarter. 1 on the shot clock, that's tipped, and it's going to be a violation.
Oh,
Fran Belibi doing it.
I was looking for a dunk.
You were ready for it.
I was ready, Fran Belibi, in Colorado.
She made history in Colorado, the first high school female to dunk in a game. That happened back in 2018. But as she says, I want to be known more than just the dunk queen, right? And that she has just a little flashback to her Regis Jesuit high school days. She made a name for herself in Colorado on the basketball court. And there it is, Mary. You wanted to see it. You got your dunk. Flashback style. Stanford into their offense. Jones, dribble drive. And a whistle underneath. They're going to call it on Quay Miller.
Again, the challenge on the O boards. Betts gets inside position, and you just cannot give up inside position to the offense. And Colorado is getting hurt bad by that.
Fresh 20 on the shot clock. That was the full miss by Betts, but she ends up with the ball again, and Haley Jones will back it out.
15 O boards for the Cardinal. Shot clock.
Down to 3, Dimitri goes. And Lauren Betts had position for an offensive board, and now it's a fight. Jada Wynn getting in there, and they're going to call a foul on Dimitri. We heard from Tara Vanderveer at the half. It's been a physical game. We did not expect that to slow down at all here in the second half.
Yeah, they could have called that on Dimitri. They could have called that on Betts.
Betts did pick up the foul.
It's Quay time. She's to have a dominant offensive personality.
Wide open, Kendall Wetta underneath, leaves it short. She'll put a little defensive pressure on jump.
We talked about scoring droughts as far as Colorado goes, and they're in one, and they cannot afford droughts. Leaving Belibi wide open. What a
Wide open, catch and shoot. Good finish.
So the pass comes into Betts, hard double. She swings it, beautiful pass for Fran. Easy bucket inside.
Fran with 4 to add to her 4 rebounds and a couple of blocks. Buffs have yet to score in the third quarter. Change that by Kendall Wetta.
Make it easy. Come off that screen. You're open. Take the shot.
Stanford still up by 1. Inside, Lauren Betts, good inside position and making it look easy off the feed.
When the dribble hit half court, Betts was posted up on Quay Miller, and that was the play all along.
And a foul on the other end. Haley Jones is going to pick up her second. When you come home, you want to show off, and that's what Lauren Betts is doing right now, grabbing that nice position and giving the Stanford Cardinal a lead, 29-26.
Wednesday, March 18th, the University of Colorado will kick off its annual, correction, it's not
The 2023 Pac-12 Women's Basketball Tournament returns to Las Vegas March 1st through the 5th at Mandalay Bay's Michelob Ultra Arena. Get your tickets now at pac-12.com/tickets. You don't want to miss these student athletes lighting up Las Vegas. Well, if things were to end today, which they clearly aren't, 2 games remain this weekend, here's how it would look. Stanford would get that #1 seed, Utah 2, Colorado would be 3, and Arizona 4. Those teams would have the bye, but man, I think we still have a basketball game and a half to decide this seeding.
And we've never had a conference season like this one, the parity from top to bottom, and sometimes parity isn't a positive word. It is. This is the strongest conference, top to bottom, in the country.
So after the foul on Jones, Sherrod shooting free throws coming out at the timeout.
What we're certainly seeing in this game is how important Hannah Jump is to the success of Stanford over the weekend against the LA schools. 6 points total. That's how well they defended her. Already today, 3 of 3 from distance. She has really helped float the boat for Stanford till others got involved.
Huge free throws by Sherrod to stay in this. They're down 1 to Stanford. Stanford had a 12-0 run to take the lead. And there's a turnover. Vonleh got a hand in. Now she's running the floor. She was looking for the pass. Sherrod almost cut her off, but she'll take the bucket. And I think Aronette Vonleh will gladly let her.
And she was escorting her down the floor. This is exactly what J.R. Payne talked about at halftime. Pace, pace, pace. Push it.
So CU back on top here. Time ticking down in the third quarter. Good straight up defense by Miller. Goes out though and will stay with Stanford. Bramble-Levy's getting her opportunities with Cam Brink on the bench.
Outstanding defense by Vonleh. The push ahead. Sadler to Sherrod. Get out and run. Take advantage of the turnovers. Brink's going to check back in.
And a check foul, so Sherrod.
And I like the call because Sherrod's going to push that envelope, right? She's going to get physical. If the refs let her do it, she's just going to take it up a notch and just see how far she can go.
3 for Jalen Sherrod.
That bucket by Colorado, so important to seize back the lead and just get the momentum just at least shifting back your direction.
So Sherrod will head to the bench with those 3 fouls. Speaking of 3 fouls, Cam Brink back in the game. She'll inbounds the ball to her good friend Haley Jones.
What an all-over
defense.
jump.
Absolutely. That's the difference she can make. Might not always see in the box score, but defensively you do. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Jones will have to go. Missing off the glass. And the Buffs will take the ball.
So many Stanford possessions, 5-4-3, and just trying to create something because the walled-off Colorado defense just will not allow an open shot.
Jones had such a big first half for the Buffs. She scored 9. That's a long three from Sadler.
I would have loved to see Quay Miller just take it at Cameron Brink and see if she get number 4. Big, gigantic lineup on the floor for Stanford.
Over 2 minutes to go in the third quarter, and there she is, Cameron Brink, and her first points of the game.
Welcome to Boulder, Cameron Brink.
For 28 minutes to get there. She's been on the bench for most of it, and the floater good.
She could feel Cameron Brink flying out at her, just put her head down and drove it.
7 points for Quay Miller, and back on top.
I love the strategy. If Cameron Brink's on the floor and she's been sitting, let's get her some touches.
You wanted Quay to get fed, and finally she does.
Beautiful reaction. If you feel the defense coming forward at you, go right by her.
Down the lane and took it. Can Stanford answer? That has been the last couple minutes of back and forth. They answer by the Colorado product in Lauren Betts. She's at 4.
Boy, high-low, Cameron Brink to Lauren Betts. How are you going to stop that?
Unbelievably tough.
6'4" passer, down low, 6'7". Vonleh doing her best without fouling. Betts says, I got this one.
Delay a game warning in effect. Stanford up 33-32.
Just means you can't touch it when it goes through the net.
Sadler to her left. Fade away, and looks like it got tipped.
Boy, Sadler struggling, 0 for 6.
I wonder the pressure she might have put on herself today starting for Frida Foreman. She's had such a productive last couple games for the Buffs. She led them in scoring with 12 points.
Is not even thinking about helping, just face guarding, Hannah jump everywhere she goes.
Wide open and just numbers. Betts again.
Turns into a 4-on-4 game.
40 seconds to go in the quarter. Aranat Vonleh turns and shoots. She got stuffed. And now she's on the floor kicking. Teammates will help her up.
Haley Jones. And as soon as she felt the commitment from Vonleh, that's when she passes it.
Aranat kind of limped around when she got up. She's going to head to the bench. Charlotte Whitaker will check in for CU.
Brink will sit, 38 seconds left in this quarter. Tara Vanderveer doesn't want her to get her 4th. But boy, was that a big lineup when you're talking about.
Huge.
Betts is out there. Dimitri's, she was not out there at that time. Fran, Haley, Cam, and Hannah.
It's almost like the bars on your cell phone. They just keep getting taller. She's had a pipeline here in Colorado recruiting some great athletes, and you just mentioned one of them in Lauren Betts, a 2-time Colorado Gatorade Player of the Year. Just a freshman. Ball inbounds. Jada Wynn to Miller. Wavy defense on Miller, and she got another block. This time she takes it and she slowed up. I saw you going for it, Mary. You were ready for the big dunk.
Boy, Levy has really been terrific defensively.
3-point lead for Stanford here. 5 seconds. Jump. Betts throws it up and gets it.
Stanford's bench, you'd think they just won the Pac-12 tournament title. They are involved.
Lauren Betts, have yourself a quarter.
Shot goes up. Betts, again, the seal off. A little bit of a push, and throws it up and uses the backboard.
Unbelievable play by Lauren Betts, who now has 8.
6-0 run by Stanford over the last minute 35.
They're going to take a look at when the foul occurred against the clock. But Betts is ready. She's ready for her 3-point play right now.
Well, they might see Betts with a little bit of a push-off as well. Shot goes up at the bottom of your screen. You see the movement by Whitaker as she feels the pressure from Betts. From behind, Jones. And Betts finds a way. Yeah, you're exactly right. Lauren Betts is like, anytime we would like to do free throws, I'm ready.
born ready. I mean, this is the depth that Stanford has. For 8 points coming in this quarter, all of a sudden that's production from your bench. When you don't have a Cam Brink in, they're able to substitute, which is so nice.
But even if that's a miss, you could see Fran Belibi just laying in wait if there was another miss. They're going to get Tayanna Jones from the backside.
So that'll be Jones's first. And Betts' opportunity here to build the lead to 6 for Stanford. And she gets the roll.
Quite a homecoming.
So indeed, they do have their largest lead of the day at the buzzer here in the third quarter, 38-32. Lauren Betts, the freshman from Centennial, Colorado, coming up big for the Cardinals. Stanford coming alive here in the second half. Their third quarter totals 20 of their 38 points coming in those 10 minutes. 9 of those points coming from the freshman in Lauren Betts. She's a Colorado kid, and she's enjoying playing back in the Centennial State.
Cam Brink in foul trouble. Lauren Betts says no problem. 9 points in 14 minutes. 4 of 7 from the floor. 4 offensive rebounds, an assist, a block shot. Similar to what she did Monday against UCLA, where she had 12 points in 14 minutes. Instant impact. And think about it. For so much of the season, in practice, you're working against Cameron Brink, Fran Belibi, Kiki Iriafen, Ashton Prechtel. And now she's ready because she's worked against the best.
Stanford on a 7-0 run to end the third quarter. Final 10 minutes to go here. Stanford can beat the Buffs on the road. They will have at least a share of the Pac-12 regular season title before they head to Utah on Saturday. Sherrod for 3 gets swatted by all 6'7" of Lauren Betts. This is that big lineup that you were talking about once again.
Yeah, it's ginormous. But you can really see Colorado missing Frida Foreman and just how well she shoots the 3, how she helps their movement in the perimeter inside the Betts.
Impact the perimeter game so much, and there she is. Cameron Brink, when she's on the floor today, she can score, she can defend, she can block.
Stanford playing their 3rd straight game against a nationally ranked team. Played Monday night, 1 day of practice, a slow first half. They have come out in this second half ready to roll.
Blame it on a 3 p.m. start, blame it on altitude, blame it on the schedule, whatever you want. They all of a sudden found themselves and showed up after halftime. Maybe it was that coffee that you were talking about.
Oranges, coffee, whatever they had in the locker room. But this is a highly motivated Stanford team. They want to win their third straight Pac-12 regular season championship. It means a lot. Haley Jones will talk about, we've got a checklist, and that's at the top of the list. That's where we start.
8-point lead for Stanford, 9-0 run. Sherrod trying to stop it.
See, there's just no kick out to Frida Foreman.
There's a kick out to Sherrod, and the Miller-Sherrod connection seems to work.
A basket they had to have. Now Colorado, you need to dig in defensively and try to shut down this high-low game.
Just the third three on the day for the Buffs. It's going to be a foul call on Weta against Tayanna Jones.
Jalen Sherrod has worked so hard over the course of this season and the offseason on just becoming a much more efficient three-point shooter. You see it there.
Just her 18th made three this season. She had a big game against Stanford earlier this year, 16 points, 5 rebounds, 3 steals. 9 today for Sherrod. There's a steal right there. Can she go coast to coast? She'll just use her speed over that height.
A veteran move, a smart move by Sherrod to cut in front of Cameron Brink so she cannot get that block shot. Well done.
First player on the floor in double figures at 11, a 3-point separation. Feed inside and a tip away from Miller. 6 on the shot clock. Jones backing it in all the way to the bucket, and she'll miss it.
This is the Buffs of 2023. There is no backing down. In the past, they might have folded up. It doesn't happen anymore.
Back up top to Jones. She's been quiet here in the second half. Sherrod to Jones. Feed to Miller. 4 on the shot clock. She got double teamed underneath.
Colorado wanted the foul on Brink.
And so did the home crowd. Ball bouncing away, and you can see Brink and Jones not on the same page there. That's going to induce a timeout from Tara Vanderveer. That's not Stanford basketball. They're going to get on the same page. We got a great one here in Boulder. Stanford up 40-37 over the Buffs. Pac-12 women's basketball is brought to you by Jockey, the steals today. In fact, Stanford's turned the ball over 13 times. They average 13.2 turnovers per game. And right there, you can just work at the ball inside. That's a veteran move by Haley Jones.
It's a great veteran move, and Haley Jones has been in attack mode. She's been fouled 7 times in this game. She's bringing her game to the Buffs.
She's the first Cardinal in double figure with 10.
Speaking of bringing your game to somebody, Sherrod, that's just what she does. Love this play, high post, puts it on the floor. Tayanna Jones doing her best, but that's just Haley Jones and what she does so well.
Polo picked up the foul. And there's another foul call, this time on Hannah Jump.
Weta and Jump have been going at it. The game within the game for those two, physical.
Scrappy. They've definitely been after it.
Quay Miller, 7 points on 2 of 10 shooting, 0 for 3 from 2. To win this game, Quay Miller has really got to come alive offensively. It cannot all be on Sherrod.
Miller at the high post. She attacks Dimitri, finds some space. She's double teamed, wide open. Vonleh Miller, she's able to grab it. So the Miller to Vonleh connection.
Quay Miller being aggressive, forced the help, all that respect. Two-man game.
Jones on Jones, and there's some defense and some drama, but Brink coming up with the shot.
And that is a huge bucket for Stanford. Takes it back to a 5-point lead.
No answer on the other end, and now Stanford's chance to build.
Sherrod is still not back on the floor, so numbers for Stanford.
Dimitri, long three. Jones tried to save it. She does to Sherrod, who's limping. You can tell she's in agony right now.
She flew out of bounds in what took a long time to get back up.
And they're going to have to call an injury timeout. She's right by the CU bench. She grabs her right ankle, and her coach, J.R. Payne, right there by her side.
Yeah, she was in with cameras.
So the crowd will cheer her. That's a big miss when you're talking about Jalen Sherrod sitting on your bench. She's been so effective in so many different ways.
Yeah, here's the drive. She just picks it up, and she's off to the races at the other end. And you can see she's already grimacing.
There's inside to Miller, and there's the foul you were looking for her to induce. It's going to go on Fran Belibi. So attacking the double team for Quay Miller.
Here's the injury. The drive by Sherrod. She falls into the area with the cameras. And somewhere in there.
We're still looking at her ankle as Quay Miller has free throws.
Never good when you take your sock off in your shoe. She's putting them back on. Tough to keep her out of a ball game.
Especially when you're already down at free to Foreman. Not what you want. Quay Miller with 9, making her free throws.
Extend the pressure, 2-2-1 full court.
And there it is, right to Miller.
Stepped right in.
The Buffs need points off turnovers more than they ever had in this game. How about Fran getting right in there? Oh, they're gonna call it Stanford's ball. What an aggressive play.
I'm saying it is off Quay Miller. Gets in there, gets a piece of it.
Looks like Wetta's hand
Sure
last
did.
touched it.
One more look. This one could go either way. But the refs were very definitive with their call.
Crowd getting restless and into it now.
Well, that's a big change of possession.
Whistle.
The ability to invert your offense, put Haley Jones down on the block and say, we're going one-on-one with whatever you can throw at us. The 8th time Haley Jones has been fouled.
This is good news as Jalen Sherrod checks back in the game, and Sadler will come out.
Colorado's 2nd team foul. Stanford's got 3.
On Tayanna Jones. Jones to Brink. Completion. She has a 5-point lead. Sherrod and her speed. Good to know. She's testing the ankle there.
Just a different game with Brink on the floor, both ends. Her length, you just saw how much room she covered with that pass from Haley Jones. Just look how far away it takes her. Go get the pass, come back, and get the basket. They are 2 different events. And boy, she does a great job with both.
Cam Brink started the game 0 for 4 from the field. Since then, 4 for 4. Getting into a rhythm. She had that foul trouble early. She was in and out of the game, but we've seen her with more consistent playing time here. Clock winding down, under 5 in the game.
This feels like that USC game on Friday night.
It does. Nice baseline go and pass. No completion with the foul call.
All created by Wetta. The drive could have taken the 15-footer, doesn't do it. You get commitment from Brink. That's what opens up the inside. You can see the body block from below by Cameron Brink.
4 fouls for Brink. She's back to the bench. Betts is in. And Aaronette Vonleh has free throws.
I'm not sure giving Vonleh a bunch of time to stand there really helps much.
51% free throw shooter.
You can think about all kinds of things when you're at the free throw line. And most of them are not good.
There's that miss. You start to look at the clock, at the score, and think about all the free throws you may have made or missed in the past. Not as much time in between there, and knocks it down. So Vonleh with 7. And the pressure back on.
Nice control by LaPolo, just get it. No drama.
That's picked off Jones. There's a switch underneath. Vonleh picked up. Left it short for Belibi, and there's going to be a foul call coming.
Just not a lot of space in there when Stanford has this lineup on the floor. Fran Belibi puts it on. There's just so much congestion in that paint. You can see it all. Misses that shot. Betts tries to come from behind. Haley Jones tries to step in as well.
So Jones has 3 fouls now. And in the bonus.
So free throws are going to be important for Colorado. It's not their strength, but if you want to win a game like this, you must convert.
It does. Miller 6 for 7 now from the line today. She's had a lot of opportunities. Making them both.
It's point time, and she's delivering.
11 points for Quay Miller. To your point on the floor, it hasn't been so pretty for Quay today. She's just 2 for 11 when it comes to field goals. 2-point game.
Student section in the band getting involved.
The Bananas here and ready to go. Baseline drive, good defense by Jones on Jones. Ball knocked around in the hands of Sherrod. She's going to attack and right to Vonleh at the free throw line. She can't make the jumper, and back in the hands of Stanford.
Just plenty of time on the shot clock. Don't need to be in a hurry. Get into secondary, get into your sets, get a great shot.
Polo into Jones. Sherrod down to help. She got a hand on the ball. Jones can't get the roll. Knocked around, and Vonleh with a rebound.
What is defense is just unbelievable on a Hannah jump.
6th rebound for Aaronette Vonleh, and a very important one.
Dimitri on Quay Miller.
Buffs have trailed here in the 4th quarter. Miller can't get the under a round to go. We'll call a foul on Stanford.
And Stanford had a real disadvantage. They've got, it's bonus time for Colorado. Colorado with just 2 team fouls. Working, gets through there. Late whistle, right there. They're going to get Dimitri.
So Miller's lived at the line today and right back at it. She's 1 of 10 on the Lisa Leslie watch list. It's the 2nd straight year she's been there. They'll get moved down to 5 come late February.
And Miller 4 points, 2 rebounds. In this 4th quarter, it's money time.
And we have a tied game once again, 46-all off the free throws of Quay Miller.
They have come all the way back. And the crowd rises.
2:30 to go in the game. Brink attacking the basket. Huge board for Jones. Sherrod realizes there's 3 Stanford defenders in front of her and pulls it out.
And somewhere in Salt Lake City, Lynn Roberts and her squad watching this saying, come on, Colorado.
Weta goes to her right. Too hard off the glass. Under 2. Low scoring affair in Boulder. Who will hold on for the win? Brink inside to Betts, and there's the hand of Sherrod coming through, and a foul call.
Colorado knew exactly what was coming. We're going high-low from Brink to Betts, and here comes Sherrod. Putting it down, I'm going to get a piece. Jalen Sherrod, not much more she can do, just brilliant.
In checks Fran Belibi. So again, Brink has 4 fouls. She's on the bench with 1:42 to go here.
Betts has made 1 trip to the free throw line. And another delayed free throw.
Knocks it down. She's at 10.
Pressure cooking at the line.
Betts earned Pac-12 Freshman of the Week honors just a few weeks ago. There's a timeout from J.R. Payne. Well, Pac-12 women's basketball is brought to you by the Walt Disney World Resort 50th anniversary celebration happening now through March 31st, 2023.
So for Lauren Betts, 58% free throw shooter, you step up in that situation and you're in your home state. They matter, and she makes both. Here's your game reset, the timeouts, the fouls. You can see Colorado, they've got fouls to give. Stanford does not.
Lauren Betts has played very gutsy here in the second half. It's where all her points have come, all 11 of them. You mentioned the free throw line. But just to be able to fill in for Cam Brink, how often do you hear that? Filling in for Cam Brink, those are big shoes to fill. And when she's been on the bench, a lot of different Cardinal players have had to step up. That's what's happened for the Buffs today too, without Frida Foreman out sick. They went on a big run early. Stanford came back, and now we're sitting here at a 2-point game.
Beautiful read by Haley Jones. She saw the penetration, the help, and she just dropped right into where she's supposed to be.
Polo running point off to Jones.
2-man game. Haley Jones and Lauren Betts.
Then just clear out for Jones, and they're going to call a travel and a turnover. That has hurt Stanford today. 15 turnovers.
Sherrod, it's all about decision making. Jones hasn't made any points here in the second half.
Sherrod to her left, she picks up her dribble. Over to Jones.
Great timeout. There was absolutely nothing going on, and when you start getting a little too creative there, bad things happen. So I love J.R. Payne. Let's talk about this. This is maybe our most important possession this season.
Of course, for J.R. Payne, nominated Naismith Coach of the Year, along with Tara Vanderveer and Lynn Roberts of Utah, 3 very deserving candidates from the Pac-12, 15 total nominations across NCAA. But look at those conference records. I mean, records in general. Of course, you could put Tara Vanderveer on this list every single year. I think the job by the 2 coaches of the Mountain School has been so impressive this season, especially when you look at CU. They were preseason picked 8th to finish in this tough Pac-12 conference, and look what they've been able to do.
And just what J.R. Payne has done in the last 5 years, 18-19, they were 2-16 in conference. Today, they sit at 12-4, a couple wins away from perhaps being co-champs or champs of the Pac-12 regular season. Quay Miller, you're looking for her to get a touch. Sherrod, penetration, but don't get in there too far.
We're sitting in quite a drought here in Boulder. No field goal from either team in the last 4 minutes of play. Now the most important minute, 45 seconds to go, and a rainbow over the glass. They're going to call it Buffs ball out of bounds. There's 4 seconds on the shot clock. They're going to look at that, and Stanford will head over to the bench as the refs go over to the scores table.
Shot goes up. Who's it off of? Boy, it sure looked like it was Haley Jones, but not a big argument from Jones on that.
Haley Jones, Tayanna Jones show has been fun to watch. I mean, those two have definitely gotten after it today too.
But see, here's the challenge, especially for Colorado. Is it going to be an offensive possession? Is it going to be a defensive possession? So what are you talking about in this huddle? You've got to talk about both. And you can see Haley Jones expressing her opinion, the referee, the opposite.
Two-point game. This is definitely not how things started. The Buffs got out to such a hot lead. They were up 13-0. It's a scoring drought. Just one field goal for Stanford coming into the building in the first quarter. They've definitely made up for it here, but now both teams have been in a field goal drought. Buffs haven't had one in 5 minutes and 39 seconds. They have lived at the line to stay in this. So they've put 1 second back on the shot clock. They have 5 total.
And maybe a different option rather than Quay Miller trying to get it over both Fran Belibi and Lauren Betts inside.
Sherrod gets the handoff back. 3-point attempt. Long rebound.
Push off.
Push off.
Wanting it too much. Just the 14th foul, though. No free throws for Stanford.
Ring coming back in. Tayanna Jones coming back in.
The missed shot. The box out by Jones. And win over the back with the push.
.6 seconds separate game clock, shot clock. A timeout for Stanford to talk about it. Taking a look at Pac-12 bracketology, Stanford would end up with a 1 seed, Utah with a 2 seed. They're looking at UCLA, Arizona, Colorado in the 4-5 seed spots, USC 8 seed, Washington State a 10 seed, and then you still have 2 more schools behind those 7, and Oregon potentially a first 4 out, and then Washington on the layer next 4 out. I think those bottom 2 schools would have to make some hay in the Pac-12 conference tournament.
So what really stands out to me is Colorado at a 5 seed. You beat Stanford, you're looking at probably hosting first and second round. It's huge. So many ramifications for Colorado. And again, can't say enough about Washington. The end of December, I think they were in the hundreds. They've moved up 40 spots in that net. They have done an amazing job.
There's been some cold shooting here. Stanford hasn't had a field goal in 4 minutes and 14 seconds. We saw parts of this last Friday, the scoring droughts of Stanford.
Got the release to Lopolo.
What a that crazy defense. She's going for the steal, and they're going to give it to the Buffs off of Lopolo.
They switch up their matchups. They put Weta on Lopolo. Sherrod goes to Hannah Jump, and boy, did it pay dividends.
Jada Wynn checking in another timeout. These teams are going to talk about it. But man, Weta, we've talked about her all game. The little things that she does can make the biggest difference.
Her focus, intensity, and just defensive stance, moving her feet. Look how big and wide. You're going to show me the ball. The swipe. And again, the emotion from Sherrod. Boy, we've had so many close calls. Who did the ball go off of?
10 steals on the day for the Buffs, 4 of them belonging to Weta.
Just so focused on the ball. Looks like it goes off Lopolo's leg. And again, the situation for Colorado, trying to find 2 points or 3 points. Where do you go? You don't have Frida Foreman to help stretch that floor out a little bit and give you some space. That's why Wynn's out there offensively.
So for Colorado, you mentioned that projected number 5 seed for them. The strength of schedule, it's been 20. They've had a lot of big wins on their home court here. They have beat top 15 teams. And if they do it again, it'll be the 4th straight win over a top 15 team at the CU Event Center. Their home court advantage has helped them out to that 12-4 conference record. They're 11-1 here.
Their net on December 15th was 41. They have moved up 20 spots. What a great season so far for Colorado.
And for Stanford, of course, just in control of their schedule. Their 2 conference losses coming at the road against USC and against Washington. They've won 4 in a row coming into this contest here, but man, the road test has been real for them to end the season.
Yeah, the 3-point victory over USC on Friday night. We did that game together at Maples. But this game has been a grind for Stanford from the start. This is exactly what CU wanted this game to be.
7 bench players have been used for Stanford in this one. They have the depth. We know that. They know how to grind out and win games. Can they hold on here is the big question.
I do think all these stoppages is advantage Stanford. Because of the elevation, they are really able to just sort of catch their breath and just get themselves mentally and physically back in the ball game.
They're going to add a couple of tenths onto the clock, so it'll be 33.8. That's what the refs are looking at. You got to get it right. I understand that, but man, it's like the stoppages between free throws, the extra time that coaches get with their players, and that comes on the heels of the first quarter and a half of this was back and forth, not a lot of whistle stoppages.
Most recent close game for Colorado was Washington State. They won that game by 3, 71-68. They had an overtime victory at home against UCLA. So both these teams very familiar with end-of-game situations. Jalen Sherrod winking at me and smiling as she walks over. I mean, is that confidence or what?
I mean, if you see Mary Murphy, that's what you do on the Pac-12 circuit, man. So Sherrod will get the ball into Kendall Wetta. 32 seconds to go in the game. Jones out to Sherrod. She drives to her right and just easily lays it in.
And I am Jalen Sherrod. What a play.
Tied up at 48 and a timeout called. That is the wink and the smile. She wanted to let you in on the game plan.
I mean, it's going to be all me. Watch me work.
Wow.
Jalen Sherrod. Just wait, feel it, the blow by, the challenge, tie ball game.
Jalen Sherrod has 13 in the contest. No wonder she was preseason all Pac-12. This is her 100th game she's playing in collegiately. And it looks like she might be back next year, Mary, not being celebrated on senior night.
But see, with so much movement on the other side, they pull Brink away, they pull Betts away. So the shot blockers, all that size, nowhere in sight. It's one-on-one, and Jalen Sherrod with the speed, the quickness, the determination, just blows by Lopolo.
Whose hands do you want the ball in for Stanford here for this shot with 23.8 seconds to go?
Well, I think, of course, Haley Jones. Hannah Jump if she's got a 3. Cameron Brink with the drive. Or inside, Dimitri with the 3. Lots of options for Stanford.
Dimitri will get the ball in for the Cardinal. She gets it to Brink. 20 seconds. Out to Dimitri and the handoff to Lopolo.
Stanford, do you want to win or go to overtime?
7 seconds. There she is, Haley Jones. Ball's on the floor, got tied up with Wetta. She throws up the shot with a second left, and we are, in fact, going to overtime in Boulder.
Kendall Wetta, again and again and again and again. Defense, Colorado Buffs. This is who we are. No, denied. What a play by Kendall Wetta.
Huge for CU. Stanford, they got right back in this thing. It's been a back and forth affair, and of course that would mean we got bonus basketball coming for you from the CU Event Center, all tied up at 48. Paycor overtime here in Boulder between number 3 Stanford and number 21 Colorado. This top 25 matchup has not disappointed. 48 all defense has come into play. And this is exactly where we sit. Colorado controlled the first quarter. Stanford controlling the third quarter. And all of a sudden now back and forth and in it. Both these teams have played overtime this season. Stanford, they are 0-1 in overtime. That loss coming back in November to South Carolina, 76-71. As for CU, they're 1-1 in OT. You mentioned, Mary, that big win at home against UCLA in overtime. That was their last one, the end of January.
Jalen Sherrod, look where Cameron Brink is. Look where Lauren Betts is. They are not in any area that can hurt Jalen Sherrod. She says, oh, baby, this is perfect. This is what I want. She puts it on the floor, ties the game, and sends her team to overtime. And it's the Kendall Wetta show on defense. Game clock running down. Wetta says, Haley, I don't know what the plan is, but it is not going to happen. Kendall Wetta, who you want me to guard? Shut down Hannah Jump after she got hot. Denied the ball to LaPolo to get the possession that helped tie the game, and then ties up Haley Jones.
Jenny Kavner, Mary Murphy back with you in Boulder. And you know what, Mary, I'm so glad we're going to 5 more minutes because this has been a ton of fun watching the game within the game. There's been some great matchups. Each team has had their runs. And now we get bonus basketball to decide who's victorious. Again, what's on the line? If Stanford wins, a share of the Pac-12 title. If Colorado wins, that seeding could go up. Postseason seeding could go up, and they're sure not. They're going to call her out of bounds. So this will go back towards Stanford. She has made some energetic plays. So has Wetta. You just saw that defense, and that's made the difference for the Buffs staying in it in the second half.
Jalen Sherrod is flying around the building. She may be selling concessions during timeouts. I mean, she's just doing everything. The important thing for Colorado is that she just picks her spots, right?
So Stanford will have Haley Jones lead this offensive possession.
Leaving the bar on the floor for Stanford to start the overtime. Shot clock again.
At 1, Jones releases, and that's going to be a violation. Graham Alibi will check in as well for Stanford.
And that just really gets Colorado and this crowd going. This is their bread and butter, playing great defense, and that's what you get in air ball after you've got all that time to find a good shot. Advantage Colorado.
Top 4 in the Pac-12 in a lot of defensive categories for the Buffs. Talked about their steals per game. That's second in the conference, close to 10. They like to just get aggressive, get hands on balls. Try and get the ball back. Created those turnovers today. Stanford has 17. And speaking of turnovers, Fran Beliebe gets a hand on it, not a bounce.
The most important thing for Colorado to win this game in overtime is for Jalen Sherrod not to foul out. Whether it's an offensive foul, a defensive foul, to just really play within herself and make great decisions.
And that's up and over the reaching hands of Cameron Brink.
What a great play by the freshman. Holds her position, get a solid shot up.
9 points for Aronette Vonleh. 6 minutes without a field goal for Stanford.
Wetta not even seeing the basketball. All she is eyeball to eyeball with Hannah Jump.
Tayanna Jones on Haley Jones. Just beautiful moves from Haley Jones. She has 12. All. Buffs look to retake the lead. Sherrod in the corner. She'll go baseline. Underneath with the reverse. She gets the whistle.
It'll be on Brink.
And it's going to be 5 on Brink.
This could not have been set up any better. Clear out. Goes opposite the screen. Gets by Haley Jones. Brink comes in, tries to save the day, clearly fouls. But this is all well thought out. And that's what we're talking about by Sherrod. Find your angle, be decisive.
Green played 21 minutes today. Fouls out with 8 points. Lauren Betts will check back in.
Well, we've done a lot of games here. This crowd is fired up.
They are very fired up. It was a different start time on a Thursday afternoon, 3 p.m. Again, the men will come up later tonight against USC. I think a lot of them excited to participate in 2 basketball games today, and they're getting bonus time right now in overtime. Sherrod missing the first. She's the only Pac-12 player to average at least 10 points per game, 5 assists and 2 steals. And there's a huge offensive rebound from Vonleh.
Good focus.
3 minutes to go in overtime. Sherrod on the floor. Miller with the miss. And Jones will bring it down for Stanford.
That's a tough couple of opportunities there. Colorado comes up empty.
Nice feed. How beautiful is the finish for Hannah Jump.
Didn't get one the whole game. Got one there. Backdoor. Jones to jump.
Cardinal back up by 2. Inside, Miller willing it over 2 defenders.
What a beautiful read. You look over your right shoulder, there's Betts. You just drop step and twirl, and it is yours, Quay Miller.
Quay Miller had all free throw points in the 4th quarter. Finally gets a bucket on the floor. Jones with the miss. The other Jones for the Buffs with the board.
9 points, 6 rebounds for Jones.
2 minutes to go in overtime.
J.R. Payne calling the play. Colorado's got to get organized a little more quickly.
Tayanna Jones in the right wing, and they're going to call an off-ball foul, and that'll go on Brooke Dimitri. Back in comes Fran Belibi. Definitely getting her minutes back in her home state today. And speaking of home state, Ashton Pertel checks in. A little confusion maybe.
Just wants to make sure who she's coming in for.
So Leopoldo back out on the court as Quay Miller's at the line where she's basically been living today.
And living large.
Her 10th made free throw, and she has 16 points.
Said it was a rivalry at the top of the show, and boy is it.
As you mentioned, funny to say, when Stanford's been in control, they've won 21 of the last 22, but so many of these have been close. And now 7 of the last 10 meetings decided by single digits, 3 in overtime. I'm just assuming this one's going to be decided in single digits here. Lauren Betts on Vonleh, she lays it in.
We're putting a lot of confidence in Lauren Betts and delivers.
Sherrod throws it up, nowhere near the rim. There's a whistle. Haley Jones not impressed with that whistle.
ISO down low, it's coming into Lauren Betts. You can see how deep she is on Vonleh. Just gets enough control at 6'7" to get that thing to go in. And Sherrod, head and eyes up.
Prechtel now coming in the game, as I believe he has 4.
Boy, the job Vonleh has done on the O boards has really been impressive.
Vonleh in double figures, she has 10 now.
5 O boards.
Gotta give a lot of props to Aaronette Vonleh, by the way. 1 foul in the game, and she has been fouling out several times. She's played great, solid post defense for the Buffs.
And 3 of 4 from the foul line. The crowd rises again.
Huge. Buffs up by 2. Tayanna Jones all over Haley Jones. And 2 shots coming. They're going to call it on Tayanna Jones, her 3rd.
Haley Jones going to work. Sherrod steps in, tries to get a piece of it. Boy, they are just squeezing Haley Jones every time she puts it on the floor.
Haley has a Colorado connection. Her mom played basketball at Metro State in the Denver area, and her dad at Colorado College down in Colorado Springs.
That one wasn't even close. Jones, 75% free throw shooter.
And misses both of them. Huge rebound coming. And a foul call.
Beliebe again. The power of the offensive rebound. Fran Beliebe, her 4th O board, just battles, reaches. Sherrod saying, come on crowd, we need you. She looks like Coach Prime out there.
Stanford down by 2, and another missed free throw. That's 3 in a row they've missed. And make it 4 in a row. A fight for the ball.
They're going to call a foul.
They are. Back to the line, and Stanford's going to try and shake the scaries off.
Looks like Quay Miller. Sherrod. And that is a great job by Haley Jones. You're just basically blocking out that whole way across the court.
Stanford just 5 for 9 from the line. She finally gets one to rattle in, make it 6 for 10. $14 points for Jones now, and we're all tied up again. 56 all in Boulder. We have a fun one under a minute to go in overtime. It's been a little over 2 years since CU last beat Stanford. That happened right here at the CU Event Center in overtime. The Buffs got them 77-72, and that's the only time that Colorado has won in the last 22 meetings. Well, they're trying to do it again today, and they're going to have to do it in a tight overtime affair, all tied up at 56 here.
Sherrod with the steal, Frida Foreman with the 3. In the loss to Stanford back in January, Colorado was 6 of 16 from the free throw line. Not the case today. 17 of 22 for 77%. That has been the difference maker. Not a strength all season long, but in the biggest game, maybe not in program history, but I've got to say maybe top 5. This is a huge game for this program. They are coming up large at the free throw line.
Huge game for a program that's now been in the top 25 for 5 straight weeks. Ranked 21, they'll finish with Cal in 2 days. As for Stanford, they'll head on to Utah. The tasks just get more tough, don't they?
They sure do.
I think you guys are gonna have a ton of fun in Vegas for the Pac-12 tournament, the way things have ended this season. Weddle take the ball for the Buffs. Sherrod has 3 range. She's looking for Wynn.
Pick the top with Wynn.
She takes it all the way in, kissing it nicely high off the glass. Stanford going to call the timeout. Assistant coaches for the Buffs wanted the ball to keep going.
Timeout.
Sherrod seems like she's still a little ginger on that ankle. What a huge move by Jalen Sherrod.
She has been spectacular. She is the heart, she is the soul of this Colorado Buffalo team. The change of pace. Again, attacking Haley Jones, attacking 6'7" Lauren Betts, and you come away with points. It's go time, release time, finish time, and that is Jalen Sherrod.
So she fell down again. Something to watch. I don't think she's going to let that injury bother her, even if it did at this point in time with 45.2 seconds left on the clock and a 2-point Buffs lead.
The ability to adjust your shot as you see a 6'7" shot blocker with their hands just as high as they can be, to know where off the backboard that thing needs to just kiss and drop through. An amazing performance.
That's a full foot difference for the 5'7" guard and Jalen Sherrod from Birmingham, Alabama. Let's get to our jockey difference maker, and of course it would be the play of the senior. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists.
But more than that, when her team needed something big, she delivered.
Jones doing star jacks on the inbounds. Stanford does get it in. 25 seconds on the shot clock, 38 seconds on the game clock now. Haley Jones backing Tayanna Jones down in the bucket.
Haley Jones, high post, matched up with Tayanna Jones. And you're going to see the emotion of the moment after she makes this shot. Clear it out, I'm going to work. Has the space, and then the scream. And again, you've got to be strong enough with the ball because Sherrod is reaching in there to try to rip it away.
Sherrod's asking the fans to get on their feet. She was doing a traveling motion. She's talking back and forth. She wants him up, and for Haley Jones, she missed 2 big free throws earlier. Biggest free throw here, and she nails it. 17 points and a 1-point difference. Stanford up with 30.9 seconds to go in a timeout.
Kiki Iriafen on the floor. She was in at the end of the UCLA game. She guarded Charisma Osborne. Agnes Eminopu on the floor to defend as well. How about these standings?
So close, neck and neck. We were trying to go through all the math. There is a way for a 3-way tie in terms of the regular season, but Stanford would have to lose here. Colorado would have to win out the weekend. Of course, Utah would also have to beat Stanford at their place on Saturday, and they would have to split to get 14 wins apiece. Bottom line for Stanford, they just need a win. That'll take care of everything, but Colorado fighting tooth and nail here till the very end. Huge possession. What are you talking over here?
Well,
what do you want to happen?
It's just time and situation, right? Like, my give it to Sherrod and let her do her thing. Let her make the decision. If you've got win for a 3 and you're feeling good about it, she's got some time, you get it to her. Quay Miller, if you feel some advantage, you let that happen.
Miller, 17 points in the game. Vonleh, 11. Of course, Sherrod has 15. She's taken over in the second half. She had 2 points in the first half. 13 of them coming here in the third and fourth quarters plus overtime.
But Stanford is going again, a lot of bigs. Betts Iriafen, Fran Belibi, Haley Jones.
What, only 3 points in the game. She has the ability to drive. She has the ability to shoot the 3. Iriafen and Jones on Sherrod, and they're going to call a foul.
And that's not on the list, if you're Stanford, of things you wanted to happen. But here's Sherrod doing the dance, right? I'm going left, I'm going right.
Double team, be aggressive, but don't foul. I'm pretty sure that was the message in there. And now Sherrod at the line with a chance to tie and potentially take the lead.
Stanford has 1 timeout left.
Back to a tied game. 16 for Sherrod. And Buffs back with the nice roll.
No timeout from Stanford.
25 seconds to go in overtime. Feeding it inside to Lauren Betts. Not near the rim. And a fight for the ball. It's with Weta. Stanford's going to have to the foul here, and they do on Sherrod.
Boy, they are lucky they were able to catch enough of Sherrod to get that foul call. The shot by Betts, it's a miss, and then it's just a rugby scrum. Who's coming up with it? And again, Kendall Wetta is not going to show up on the stat sheet. What a game.
She makes all the difference on the floor for J.R. Payne. 6.2 on the clock. One Stanford timeout available. Substitutions in. Well above her average today. Averages 10.6 points a game, missing the free throw. She has 17. She's going to try and make it a 2-point advantage here.
Most important thing for Stanford, they must box out. If it's a miss, you gotta have possession.
And there it is, the box out, possession, and the timeout with 5.9 seconds. Those are big misses.
It's been a broken record for Stanford. It's been Haley Jones at the foul line, ripping and putting the ball on the floor, or getting it inside to Lauren Betts. It's been compressed, it's been congestion. Tayanna Jones comes back on the floor. We know what she can do.
So 60-59, Buffs up in overtime. No timeouts left now that Stanford took their final. Both teams have 5 fouls.
So Stanford, 2 goals. 1, get the ball in cleanly. And against the quickness and the way that Colorado can get after it and deny, that can be challenging. 2, get a shot off. How about Stanford? You win, you got a piece of the championship. If Colorado wins, there's hope that they could be champions. I mean, second to last game of the regular season, and here we are in the Pac-12 conference.
Colorado has not beaten 4 ranked teams since the 2001-2002 season. It's been decades. They're on the verge of that right now, up by 1. Stanford, again, can sniff down a Pac-12 title if they can make a huge shot. Haley Jones will get the ball in. All the way underneath to Betts. A hand on it for Miller, no whistle, and there is the whistle.
Wow. How about that for a play call? 6.2 seconds, and you go all the way across the court. Haley Jones to Lauren Betts. Wow.
Rainbow pass, and you get your height underneath.
The screen by LaPolo, and the foul. What a play call.
Gutsy moment for the freshman in her hometown. She went to Grandview High School, suburb of Centennial, and she ties it up with her first free throw. 3.8 seconds on the clock. Betts misses the second, stays a tied game. Quay Miller takes a couple dribbles, lets time expire, and we will head to a second overtime.
And Lauren Betts just could not be happy with herself as that horn sounded.
She missed a chip shot down there earlier and then missing that big free throw there. Bottom line, 5 more minutes to decide who comes out victorious. We're going to double overtime. Paycor overtime here in Boulder between number 3 Stanford and number 21 Colorado. Man, it has been a game. 60 all. We've seen a little bit of everything. Some runs, some defense, and we have seen Jalen Sherrod take over at points in this game.
She transformed this program when she decided to come from Birmingham, Alabama, and become a Buff. Defensive plays, offensive plays, leadership, crunch time performance. Layups, you know what's coming, and sometimes you just can't stop it. Jalen Sherrod, the steal here. But as you go into the second overtime, we've talked about it, 4 personal fouls on Jalen Sherrod. She's vital to the importance of this team. Cannot afford to foul out.
The Buffs have 10 fast break points to Stanford's 3, and that has to do a lot with the play of Sherrod. We will tip off again for 5 more minutes. In fact, when it comes to field goal percentage, both teams showed out best in overtime so far. 57% from the field for Stanford, 60% from the field for the Buffs.
No Cameron Brink, she has already fouled out. Beliebe has 4. Tayanna Jones has 4 for Colorado. And you wonder about fatigue for Stanford. I know they've got a deep bench, but Haley Jones has played massive minutes. Hannah Jump, massive minutes.
Troy Miller back out to Sherrod. Stanford had the night game against UCLA on Monday. No practice Tuesday. Travel day.
Haley Jones has played 45 minutes this afternoon. Hannah Jump, 46.
Who will score first in double overtime? Jump for 3. In and out. Bodies flying in, and the black jersey's coming up with it. How about the finish for the kid from Centennial? Beliebe, she has 6. Exactly, the feed to and from.
Beliebe really making that play happen with her energy on the O boards.
62-60 Stanford. Sherrod with the drive. Underneath to Jones, she can't handle it. A jump ball from the Joneses. That'll be possession with Stanford.
Those two have been battling all afternoon. It's turned into an all afternoon game.
All afternoon, evening.
Sherrod got herself into trouble, just really nowhere to go when she picked up the dribble. There's a men's game soon, and who knows when that's going to happen.
Who knows? And at this point, I don't think anyone cares on the floor. They have been playing some fantastic basketball.
You get Jones with a hand check on Haley Jones, just running a little stagger, trying to get some motion going, getting Hannah Jump possibly a shot up top, and that cleared up that driving lane for Haley Jones.
And that's 5.
That's right, and that
she'll be fouling out.
Big loss.
Huge loss. She used so much energy in the first half, scored 9 points, all 9 of them coming in the first 2 quarters.
But it's her defensive job that she has done on Haley Jones, just that length that she has provided and just her focus. And Wynn, a great shooter, but certainly not the defender Jones is. You can see the emotion.
Weighing on her heavy, her second to last home game here as a Buff. She'll be celebrated again against Cal on Saturday, the only senior that will take the celebration, meaning perhaps Jalen Sherrod, Quay Miller, we'll see the return of them. I know Charlotte Whitaker will be coming back.
Boy, the free throw line for Stanford turning into a struggle.
Haley Jones knocks down the second, so still 1 possession game, 3-point lead for Stanford.
Sometimes that's where fatigue can start showing up.
18 for Haley Jones. Sherrod out to Wynn. They'll feed Aaronette Vonleh. Working the perimeter. Quay Miller short on the 3.
Boy, she was due for a 3, wasn't she? It was a good look.
0 for 5 from 3-point range. She struggled to make her field goals today, just 3 for 16. Just 17 points. Most of those coming from the free throw line.
Friends like, please come get the ball.
Maybe he had a wide open look, but not her shot. Jones pulls up and...
But did you see how much more space she had? Wynn just could not hang with her.
Sherrod with the speed. She'll draw the foul. It'll go on Haley Jones, her 4th.
And there's like no chance this shot's going in, but Sherrod just trying to get to the line. Set the screen, Fran Belibi, and now it's just Haley Jones with just an extra foot. And that's all she needs.
For the last 6 games now, Haley Jones has scored at least 18 points. She has 20 in the contest today. Sherrod gets the roll. So again, foul trouble on the floor. Haley has 4. Levy has 4. And Sherrod has 4.
Full court pressure. That is a nice pressure release, isn't she, at 6'7"?
Yeah. .220 to go. Second overtime here in Boulder. These two teams sure love to go to overtime. Sherrod looks for the steal. They call the whistle underneath, though.
Offensive foul on Betts. Down low. Betts trying to get position. You know, as physical as this game's been, okay, but wow.
Sherrod had eyes in the back of her head. She had that breakaway, man. She was ready for it. Buffs down by 3. I mean, remember way back when in the first quarter when they were flying back and forth? Fast-paced game. Colorado tried to wear Stanford down early. They took a 13-0 lead. Stanford came back in the second quarter, led into the third.
Haley Jones guarding Vonleh. She's got 4 personal fouls.
Vonleh the dribble and up, too hard. And Belibi with the board.
That was dangerous for Haley Jones. Great decision to get it inside.
8 rebounds for Belibi. Jones had an open lane, and the whistle will stop play. Sherrod looks like she's hurting.
She's been hurting for a lot of this second half after she went flying. Sherrod trying to play a little catch-up. She just catches her foot on Haley Jones and turns that right ankle.
Jones knocks it down for 21. 11 from the line today. 5-point lead.
Must-have point possession for Colorado.
We've seen 11 lead changes, 9 ties in this game. Shout out to Weta. That's going to go off of her, and very frustrated will be Jada Wynn, excuse me.
Offense to defense substitutions by Stanford.
Lost offensive possession for Colorado. They'll put the pressure on here.
Haley Jones will have Jalen Sherrod matched up with her. 2 great players.
What a aggressive defense after Jones picked the ball up.
Great
They'll
decision
get it over, yeah. To the corner. 3-ball, good.
Hit the pressure release valve. That would be you, Hannah Jump.
14 points for Hannah Jump. Huge bucket. Feels like a dagger, but under a minute to go feels like a lot of time here. Stanford up by 8, 70-62. Huge 3, bigger reaction. second overtime has been all Stanford, 70-62 over the Buffs, and they have gotten some big-time shots, including this three from Tayanna Jones.
Absolutely. The greatness of Haley Jones to get her the ball. She's been so well defended, but 5 of 9, 4 of 6 from 3. She has not been open at all because of the job of Kendall Weta. Weta nowhere in sight, but the greatness of Haley Jones. She has played 49 minutes, 22 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, the double-double for Haley Jones.
Stanford has made more field goals here in the double overtime than they did in the entire first half. They had just 6 field goals made to the 7 they've made here.
Got to get some shots up.
Quay Miller will drive. She'll pull it up and way short. Jones will come up with it. 45 seconds to go. And the Buffs will foul. Stop the clock and put Haley Jones on the line. Well, it felt like CU had plenty of opportunities today with Cameron Brink sitting on the bench for a lot of this in foul trouble.
So much of the game. Well, this is what you expect from your All-American. Haley Jones. Brink sits, but how about the job of Lauren Betts? 29 minutes, 14 points, 8 rebounds, 5 of them offensive.
Weta drives, pulls out to Sherrod, fake the shot, and a miss. Stanford with the board and the foul on Quay Miller at 26.1 seconds. Both teams absolutely fight to the finish here.
Sherrod just sort of smacking her leg like, I cannot believe we have let this opportunity just slip away.
And Ariafen misses a free throw. Weta will take it down for the Buffs. She'll pop a 3. No good, and Stanford will take it over inside, and now just an easy bucket for Ariafen.
Well, when you look at this final score, you will have no idea of the battle it was here in Boulder.
Huge battle for the visitors, who have been road tested the last couple of weeks in the Pac-12, and they have one more test coming at Utah, but they at least have a share of the Pac-12 title once again. The Stanford Cardinal coming up victorious 73-62 in double overtime from the Buffs. Woo!
Impressive win by Stanford considering what their week has been like, but for Colorado, learned a lot about this team. They have a deep reservoir of perseverance, and I wouldn't want to play them in a Pac-12 tournament, an NCAA tournament. They are here to stay at the top of the Pac-12.
They will finish off with Cal and Senior Day on Saturday here at the CU Event Center. But it's the Stanford Cardinal and their show today in double overtime, a 73-62 win. For Mary Murphy and our entire Pac-12 Networks crew, I'm Jenny Kavnar saying so long from Boulder.